My name is Bree. I'm the executive director of a nonprofit called Workologie, and we give employees the power to cultivate change in their workplaces. So the landscapes of companies are changing. They are now younger and more multicultural than ever. And to deal with this changing landscape, companies are doing a lot. To stay ahead of the curve, they're doing everything from cultural sensitivity training to bringing in culture consultants to figure out ways that their employees can grow and thrive. But one common thing we see is that oftentimes these initiatives fall short. One of the reasons being that these programs are often led by and focused on senior level executives. So a lot of the employees who these initiatives affect directly don't have a seat at the table and their voices aren't heard. And we see underrepresented employees, mainly women and people of color, churning at an incredibly high rate. In the tech industry alone, which is where Workologie focuses, along with law and finance, folks are churning at these companies to a tune of $16 billion a year. And it's hard. Companies are doing the work to attract good clients and good employees, but they're not staying because oftentimes underrepresented employees feel alienated and unwelcome at work. They're expected to be thick-skinned and kind of accept the good-natured joke or the unwelcome compliment or questions about their identity. I can't tell you how many times as a lawyer I had partners asking me to decode rap lyrics. It gets annoying and it's frustrating. And that's real life. And it's a little thing, but things kind of happen in the aggregate. And if those folks are kind of driving diversity initiatives, that's not something that's going to cross their mind as an issue. And so what we want to do is change the status quo. And we're doing that by really focusing on employees and giving folks kind of at the rank and file level of companies a voice. Our goal is to create more equitable workplaces. And we're doing that by giving employees the resources and the knowledge to drive upward mobility in both their careers and champion change within their workplaces. So what exactly do we do? So our offering currently is twofold, one online, one offline. Our online offering is effectively a social network for ERGs. Offline, we provide diversity and inclusion focused programming in the form of social activities. So in my professional career, I've been a member of all sorts of affinity groups. So I was really active in the Black Law Students Association. I went to Duke and they had a women's empowerment forum that started here in San Francisco, and I was on the steering committee. And these groups did a lot to kind of cultivate community and belonging, especially as being someone new, not knowing anyone. It really kind of gave me a sense of self and importance. And kind of, a friend circle and camaraderie that I didn't have before. These are opportunities for networking and professional development that don't necessarily exist otherwise. ERGs, or employee resource groups, are doing the same work. So ERGs are employee-led groups in companies. So Glean would be an example. Those are gay and lesbian employees at Microsoft or WHAM, women at Mozilla. These groups are kind of doing the same things as these affinity professional groups that I was in before. Again, they cultivate community, a sense of loyalty for the broader organization. They offer networking and professional development that aren't otherwise offered. One of the things is these are often unpaid, the people that run these groups devote a ton of time. They don't get a lot of money, if any at all, and they go unrecognized. And a lot of times ERGs have very small budgets. So on the flip side, companies kind of lean on ERGs to show that they're making inroads in diversity and inclusion initiatives when it's actually the ERGs doing all the work. So seeing this, my goal was kind of twofold. One, how can we make the lives of ERGs as easy as possible? And two, how can we give credit where credit is due? These people are doing hard work. We want to make sure they're recognized. So we basically built a social networking tool. And one of the really cool things is that we created a professional skill mapping tool. So when a ERG lead creates an event, they can identify any professional skills that are part of that event. So say it's like to create a widget for Central American users, then some of the skills would be like product development, cultural awareness, teamwork. And so every employee that signs up for that ERG event, those skills are then cataloged in a skill map. So when they go to their manager, asking for more experience, or they want to substantiate why they should get a raise or promotion, they have the leverage of that skill map that they can take to their employer or their manager. The second cool thing is the social aspect. So again, ERGs have like very small budgets. So with this tool, every ERG and ERG member has a profile. So now there's a little more transparency, like you can see what other ERG budgets are, you can see what they're doing. You now have the opportunity to collaborate with those ERGs, so hopefully capacities can be expanded. Second are our social events. So companies rely a lot on social activities to build community. Sometimes when you're doing like rounds and rounds of shops, that can lead to people feeling like more othered and outside of the environment. So what we tried to figure out was a way that we can bring that social interaction and kind of those fun activities to casual, social environments where we can still have some sort of like educational programming. So one of the things that we did last month, we had a Black History Happy Hour, and so we did educational programming about the legacy of Black distillers in Kentucky and how that really kind of drove bourbon and whiskey production here in America. And then we had tastings hosted by some Black distillers in Oakland. So that was, fun and casual, but educational, and kind of started a narrative that wouldn't otherwise be there. I think race and gender can be dirty words at work. Like, no one wants to talk about those things. But we want to create a space where we can have those conversations. On Monday, we did like a lunch and learn for Women's History Month, so talking about kind of pay equity, where the trends are going, how we can narrow that gap. And then, like negotiation tactics for advocating for yourself at work. So one of our favorite things about these events is that we have a really broad base of women and minority-owned businesses as far as our diverse suppliers are concerned. So if you are interested, these are active. We have a great slate of spring and summer events. So if you think this would be a fit for your company, definitely let us know. You can email me at bree@workologie.co. You can also see more of our offerings at workologie.co. As far as our ERG tool, we're actually looking for 6 more companies for our pilot. So if you think that your company would be a good fit, or you're part of an ERG, you have an ERG, definitely let me know. And if you want to start an ERG at your company, we have a free toolkit, so definitely ping me and we can set you up with that. Great, thank you.